So my boy Fai here picked up some pretty legitimate commons out of the Hunted. So today I want to go through my Rupture Fai list and update it with some of the new includes. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to the channel for another installment of Dice Commando, the Commoner format series here on the channel where we talk all things Commoner in Flesh and Blood. So yes, thank you for joining, because today I want to talk my boy Fai. I think that some of the new toys he picked up in the Hunted really are very interesting for him and kind of fit right into his build and just straight up make it better. So let's put some things in context. I am talking specifically the Fai Rupture line, so we're going to be playing him with the Kodachis. I do in normal constructed, for those of you who follow me as a Fai fan there, you know I do prefer the Searing Emberblade line, but in Commoner it really makes a lot of sense to play the Kodachis because you have access to the Rupture cards, which are all common. Well, there's a couple that aren't, but you get the point. They're really like ending with a lava burst after something Kodachi lava burst is pretty good. So the card specifically that I'm excited about him picking up, first up is Hot on Their Heels. So this is a 0 attacks 3 blocks 3. If you control 2 or more Draconic links, it gets go again, and when it hits a hero, mark them. Now what's interesting about this card within the context of this deck is because we're on Rupture, you actually don't have you don't have like a pure Draconic build, right? We obviously have a lot of, like we have Rising in here, we have Brand in here, which really helps because that increases your Draconic link, you'll get it. But you could definitely run into situations where you wouldn't have that second Draconic link, right? Because remember, Blaze Headlong looks for a red card, always good, not a problem there. Hot on Their Heels, requiring a second Draconic when you don't have a Draconic weapon, could be in a weird spot, but you know why I still like this? Blocks 3. Fai does not have a lot of cards inherently that are Draconic that do that. So if you pull this and it doesn't work, who cares, right? You do what you're supposed to do when you don't have a card that works, and you do the thing. Okay. Now, other card that I think is very interesting is Grow Wings, and this is very similar argument to what I just said. Because we don't, again, you have to accept with the Rupture line that you're not going to be Phoenix Flaming every turn, okay? So with that in context, our main objective is to get to 4 links so that we can turn on our Draconics, or our Ruptures, right? That's right, Kodachi, something else, Rupture, or more, okay? Now, Grow Wings, I think, is interesting for very similar reason to the one we just talked about, which is if a Draconic attack was the last one, this combat chain gets go again. This is a 0/3 that blocks 3. Same thing. If you pull it and you can't use it, screw it. Right? And what's great is with Brand, this could either become Draconic itself, helping to feed, or you go Brand Kodachi, which would then be Draconic. Then you come this, which they're probably not going to be expecting. I don't know how much that throws them off because remember, you're not Mask of Momentum, right? You're actually on the Tails mask. But I think this is very interesting, and I actually I'm playing 1 blue of this one as well to round it out because it blocks 3, right? And again, it's a blue 0, so we're sure Kodachis. All right, so let's head on over to the deck itself. Now, one thing to note, you'll notice the title there is Rupture Fai HNT. That's because it's been updated for the Hunted, but this is actually the same link as before. It's the same deck that's been updated, right? So I don't know if that matters to you or not, but it's got the new update and the title change. So I am playing the RTT Kitty package. No surprise there. I mean, sometimes you see folks warble on the masks that they run. In this case, because he's not playing combo and trying to really do things, and he doesn't make anything Draconic, Mask of 3 Tails, I believe to be the correct include here. Because, again, you can always crack it to draw a card even if you don't have go again, right? Because a lot of times, like Kodachi, last one, they let 1 bleed. Well, you can pop, and now you have an arsenal card, okay? Not too bad. And then obviously we all understand what the Tiger package does. And to that point, one card that doesn't make a ton of sense in here, Pouncing She. Pouncing She makes sense because you can this is your only thing that combos, quote unquote, with your Tiger, right? And it's the only way to make a tiger is your boots. You're always using your arms and your boots together. But what's nice about that is, yes, you have the pouncing she thing, but you also, right, can create your fourth link, right? Because you can, out of nowhere. So let's say you get into some weird situation where you only have a 2-card hand, you have a blue, and then whatever you need to throw for your rupture, right? Hopefully like a lava burst. But you can Kadachi, crack, and then have your fourth, right? It's a bailout. It's not only a potential combo piece, but it's also a bailout. And also remember that when you crack your tiger, you want to do blood scent as well. So it doesn't have to be a lava burst. It can be one of the 1-drops. Okay, and to that point, let's go ahead and talk about the rupture cards. We're playing Breaking Point, which is, to my knowledge, that might not be true on the new set, actually, but there are very few ways to attack the arsenal in Commoner. Breaking Point does so quite well as a 1/5, especially if you're, doing it off of a tiger scent or a blood scent. The next one is Searing Touch. Searing Touch is pretty crazy good, right? Just being able to throw 2 damage in a 20 health format where, people take Kadachi damage a lot and they get down low and then they're blocking. 2 damage, you'll put them in, if not dead, it'll put them in really cruddy territory. And then, of course, when we've spoken over and over again with Lava Burst, this one's crazy good. Crazy good. Okay, so the deck itself, we are playing Bittering Thorns because why the hell wouldn't you, right? Blaze Headlong, we're playing all 3 brands. So the breakdown is we have 27 reds, 9 blues, and 4 yellows. The 4 yellows, Salt in the Wound, shocker, right? Effectively a rupture. Well, it's not a rupture card because it doesn't have to be, but right? Also a good one to do your tiger swipe on, or your tiger on. But we have all brands because that way, right, your Kadachi or whatever becomes draconic and it gets you 1 closer to being able to use your Phoenix Flame, potentially paying 1, if you have a bunch of zeros, but so be it. We then have Grow Wings, 2 red and 1 blue, Hot on Their Tails, Lava Burst. I am playing Lava Vein Loyalty, red and blue. This one blocks 3. This is, functionally, actually, I didn't really realize this, but Hot on Their Heels is just a power corrupt Lava Vein Loyalty, but it's not in this deck, so we don't care about market. So they're functionally the same card. I didn't realize that till now, but there you go. We have Pouncing Key, I already talked about. I'm only playing 1 Phoenix Flame. We're not doing any of the tricks. There's no Inflame. There's no Flame Call. We just need the 1. Rising Resentment, Ronin Renegade, Searing, like we talked about. Sink Below. We'd have Salt the Wound, Soul Bead, and then Wounding for our blues. Going into the inventory, we are playing Arcane Polarity in this deck instead of Oasis. We have 1 FFS just for if you run up against a popper. And then we've got the obligatory 3 Null Rune. But if we're being completely honest with ourselves, you might only consider running 2 so you can still do your pause in this deck. And I think that's a legitimate call, but if you run up against a Kano or something like that, you may as well go ahead and play a little defensively, but try and burn him down, pun intended, as fast as possible. So anyway, that is the deck updated. Like I said, not too many changes, but I think good ones. I think really good ones. So anyway, let me know what you're thinking. Nothing else, folks. Have a great Commoner Wednesday, and go Commando.